Hello, it's me, and today I'll be doing a review on my Godzilla vs. Kong Playmate Skull Crawler with Heave. And this arrived a week early, which I was quite happy about. And you can get these at places in America like, I think it's Target, Smith Toys, and there's another one, and you can get them for about 10 quid there. But I got it on eBay for 30 quid because I'm in the UK and there's none here, so I got this on eBay and it arrived early, which I was quite happy about. But this will contain spoilers, especially just this figure. So if you don't want any spoilers for Godzilla vs. Kong, leave now and don't watch it because it has got spoilers. And before I go into the figure, we'll do the box. So on the front, it's got a big, so if you're one of those collectors who just keeps the figure in the box, you'll be able to see the entire thing there. The Heave's in there, the skull crawler goes there, and his back's there, so you can get a full image of him. You get the image of Godzilla vs. Kong. There is a newer released version, which is better. It just says Monsterverse Skullcrawler with Heave, not for children under 3 years, Toho Legendary Playmates, Battle Damage Reveal, got some broken, burnt buildings which look quite nice, just Monsterverse Skullcrawler and Godzilla vs. Kong. On the back, it's got a little description of the Skullcrawler and a slight description of the film there. The figure doesn't look exactly like this. Like, it seems that they've just drawn that bit on, because if you look at that and then you look at that, they do look just a bit different. Because you can tell that bit hasn't got any black inside. They've just drawn that on, it looks like. But it's got the Heave, the Hollow Earth anti-gravity vehicle, which is probably the biggest spoiler in this, because it's explaining more about the Hollow Earth. It's got the other figures that you can get, so the Godzilla with Radio Tower, which is quite good, because I sort of want it, if you've seen the original King Kong vs. Godzilla, the 1962 one, King Kong shoved a tree in Godzilla's mouth, so it'd be funny if he did the same with the Radio Tower, just as like a little homage to the original. And then it's got Kong with Battle Axe, and that seems to be made out of one of his dorsal plates or something. Godzilla with Heat Ray, it's called Heat Ray instead of Atomic Breath. Kong with Fighter Jet, and this is another gigantic spoiler, the Warbat with Osprey, and Osprey's like the big helicopters with two propellers on the sides. But that's a pretty big spoiler, and you can, I'm pretty sure it's only just been released, this figure, so you can actually buy this now. But yeah, it's got a very nice box, and into the figure. So I guess we'll start with the Heave, Hollow Earth anti-gravity vehicle. So probably the reason they probably included this is a vehicle for little kids, and also most likely this is going to be flying through the Hollow Earth, which are like the tunnels underground where all the kaiju live, and it's just flying around, and it just suddenly gets attacked by the giant skull crawler, which is probably most likely what's going to happen. But also, this is just plain grey, very, very nice sculpt, no articulation, then just got a plain grey visor. And if you think, that visor is giant, that's about the size of a house, because a person compared to this is minuscule, because this is almost the size of Godzilla, basically. It's very nice, just a plain grey. But on the back, it shows it as silver, which it isn't, unfortunately. But quite a nice little accessory. And then, with the skull crawler, it does have one more accessory, or gimmick, if you'd call it, which is crappy battle damage. You've always got to have this with children's monster toys. It's sort of like going back to some of the old, like if you did some of the old Jurassic Park toys where they had like giant chunks of battle damage on it. But you have to admit, if that damage actually happened to this, it would die straight away. But it's just And they didn't even bother painting that white as the bone, so I'm going to make that even more bloody and gory once I repaint it, which is the reason I'm doing the review. I'm recording this like a week before I'm putting it up, because I really want to customize this, and I will be doing a video on how to customize it, which is probably going to come out before this. And the head sculpt, it's got a very nice sculpt altogether, very creepy. The head paint job is rubbish. Same with these crappy little scars, and then just it fades off there. It's got this big red down the back, which honestly not a big fan of. I prefer just the old classic Skullcrawler, which is what I'm going to turn this guy into. Or what I've already turned it into for you guys. But the head, they didn't put the actual paint on it, but they've still got the sculpt where the paint should actually go. Because if you see, I don't know if you can see very well, but it's got a little line going up there, and then this big bit here, which is where the bit should go, and there it's got a little bit going up and round the top of there, which is where it should go as well. And same up there, it's got that little triangular bit where the white should go as well for the skull. The eyes are actually painted quite nicely. He is actually facing forward, which is quite a big bonus, because most figures, including the NECA, the eyes are always utter garbage, which is quite good. The tongue is wrong. It shouldn't be like that. But I guess I'm making all these things saying, oh, it's terrible. It is made for 4-year-olds, basically. It says it on the box. But this should be like a sort of a monster, sort of mutant octopus tongue thingy. But unfortunately, the mouth, when it's closed, it's like that. It's got a gigantic underbite, and it should close absolutely perfectly. But it unfortunately doesn't in this one. But all in all, it is a Skullcrawler, and it looks really cool. And for the articulation, the jaw is on a hinge, and it can open freakishly wide. So you can have King Kong doing the old V-Rex from the 2005. Yes, it's a V-Rex, not a T-Rex. It's like an evolved version. But it can open pretty wide, and it can go fully closed. And it's got a weird thing where it can go out like that, and you can push it back there, which is quite strange. For the shoulders and elbow, are these legs or arms? I don't really. I'd say they're arms. So the shoulders are swivel hinge, so they can go all the way around and up about that far, down about that far. Elbows are swivel hinge, but the swivel isn't up there, it's there, so you can get it to move forwards and backwards like that, which is really good. And the hinge can go out about that far and in about that far, and it can go all the way round if you stretch it out like that, not like that. And it does seem there's a slight swivel-ish on the neck, but not much. That's quite annoying, because in the film its neck moves really crazily like a snake. This, I don't know if you call this articulation, just pops on and off. I'm not a big fan of it, honestly. And then it's got one single ball joint for the tail, which you can get quite a good bit of play to it. Spin all the way around. It does pop off and on quite easily, but it stays in there quite well. But it's actually really good. I mean, is it worth £30? Not really. But £10, I would say yes. So if you can find one in like the Target place or all those other places for £10, I recommend getting this. I mean, if you get them for the paint job, I'd say no. But if you just want a just Skullcrawler-ish, I'd recommend getting it, because I love the Skullcrawlers. They're incredible. Like, just these terrifying snake-like monsters that tunnel underground. But it is just a simple bit of repaint that you can do. You can just paint over that grey and then paint it white and just paint all that white, and it's fixed, basically. Also, there, which is like a weird bony bit. But yeah, it's got, also, I forgot, it's got some sculpting on the bottom of their hands, which looks quite nice. And they didn't even bother painting the toes. But yeah, I am going to get, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I am going to order the NECA Kong. Like, the NECA, just their Kong-ish. Like, it's not any other one, it's just, I'm going to get it. But just for a little size comparison, because I guess they might be fighting, is compared to my bootleg Monster Arts Godzilla 2019, but oh god, the neck pieces. Oh, it's on the floor. I'll get it in a minute. It's pretty bloomin' big. Like, compared to Godzilla, he's giant. He's longer than Godzilla, and he could easily take him down, which he just did. But yeah, I would definitely recommend getting this if you can get it for price when it first comes out, like 10 quid. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next one. Bye.